Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. We'll start with how to love God. Ashokji, over to you. You're on mute. Okay. Praveen, can you start? Can either of you hear me?
I can hear you, but you wanted Praveen to start, right?
No, I told you to start. You didn't unmute. You didn't
I'm
start.
sorry. I just there's some now I can unmute. I
Yeah, please start.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. How to love God? To love God in the most practical way is to love our fellow beings. If we feel for others in the same way as we feel for our own dear ones, we love God. One, if instead of seeing faults in others, we look within ourselves, we are loving God. Two, if instead of robbing others to help ourselves, we rob ourselves to help others, we are loving God. Three, if we suffer in the suffering of others and feel happy in the happiness of others, we are loving God. Four, if instead of worrying over our own misfortunes, we think of ourselves more fortunate than many others, we are loving God. Five, if we endure our Lord with patience and contentment, accepting it as His will, we are loving God. Six, if we understand and feel that the greatest act of devotion and worship to God is not to hurt or harm any of His beings, we are loving God. Seven, to love God as He ought to be loved, we must live for God and die for God, knowing that the goal of all life is to love God and find Him as our own self. Can you just raise it a little bit?
Yeah.
By Meher Baba. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Karthik. Actually, I was reading when you said it was great, but I was on mute. Sorry for that.
Oh, okay. No, no, no problem.
That's what I was thinking. Despite me reading again, why I should just started it. I was thinking the same.
Then you can read the
No,
the
no. I was on mute and I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was on mute. That's what I was
discourses
reading and
or
yeah.
we have discourses or what do we I think we have discourses play, right?
Yes, we
That
have
blue article on
discourses.
meditation.
So please, uh, uh, Praveen, if you feel like, please take the opening batsman or start the.
He is our opening batsman every day.
Yeah, yeah, he's our
Anyway, I
opening.
will open.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you,
So we were reading the two parts by Blum. So we read the first part last week. So again, we finished discourses, all the eight parts up to Sahaj Samadhi. And as pointed out, we thought that we will go through these two articles on meditation. This is a personal account where he questions and links through multiple episodes what is the importance of meditation in Baba's messages and Baba's orders to Mandali as to the position meditation has in the spiritual journey. The second part is the aspects of meditation and how it can help from a context of Baba's life. So, can we start with that, Praveen?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai
You
Baba.
can start.
Sure. That's fine. Connecting Meher Baba's explanation on meditation to aspects of his teachings. Part 2. Richard Blum delves deeper into the latent aspects of meditation and explains how to live a balanced spiritual life. The practice of meditation has become quite widespread over the last several decades, particularly in the US. Popular forms of meditation include mindfulness, transcendental meditation, and various types of yoga meditations. Today, meditation is taught in schools, colleges, medical settings, and even businesses. Various techniques are employed to obtain health or mental benefits such as reducing stress or lowering Blood pressure. These forms of meditation differ from the types which Meher Baba describes in his discourses. According to Baba, true meditation is a sadhana, a spiritual practice, and its goal is to clear a pathway in one's mind to obtain God realization. And as God realization requires a perfect master, another important factor differentiating Baba's explanation from popular forms is that he stresses meditation on him, the master. Baba does not offer meditative techniques per se, rather, he explains general methods of meditation by which one can acquire deep spiritual understanding and thorough practice experience those and through practice experience those truths. This in turn can lead one to experience the ultimate reality, God. When I find interesting, sorry. What I find interesting is that each form of meditation which Baba presents is linked to one or more aspects of his teachings. For example, one form of meditation might be linked to elimination of the ego, while another form is linked to God's infinite nature or divine love. The goal of a meditation is to first intellectually understand the aspect of Baba's teaching to which it is linked and then to experience the truth. Taken together, the various forms of meditation which Baba describes act as a means by which all his teachings can be integrated into a intuitive understanding. I think this sentence I'm reading in. Taking together the various forms of meditation which Baba describes act as a means by which all his teachings can be integrated into an intuitive understanding. There is only one truth, and the different aspects of Baba's teaching offer different perspectives of the truth. Through meditation, the different aspects become integrated into the final experience of God. Baba's explanations on meditation guide one through three stages. The first stage begins with an aspirant acquiring intellectual understanding of Baba's teachings. The second step guides one onward toward internally experiencing those spiritual truths. And the third stage leads to complete integration of various truths into the singular experience of God realization. As Baba says, the different forms of meditation are preparatory to the attainment of the Nirvikalpa Samadhi state, the I am God state. The Nirvikalpa Samadhi of the Siddha, uh, the Nirvikalpa Samadhi of the Siddha or God realized being is continuous with all the prior forms of meditation, and through the grace of a perfect master, it can be culmination of them. Discourses page 240.
I can pause you for a minute
Yes,
in
yes.
this, right? So,
Mhm,
so he says there are three stages. So, first stage
mhm.
begins with an aspirant acquiring intellectual understanding of Baba's teaching. Second step guides one onward towards internally experiencing those spiritual truths. And the third stage leads to complete integration of the various truths into the singular experience of God realization. This is a very, very
Yes.
broad classification. Baba does
See,
much more than that at a detail level. There are 8 parts. The
yeah, yeah,
first part, yeah, the first part is very,
exactly.
very general. Second part starts by focusing on classification, and then
See,
the last 2 parts are specifically only 2 types of meditation, right? So, yeah, I think
I
just
think,
wanted to make that
and
comment.
yeah, I think this should the first one which we said understanding intellectually. It can be high, like we can say it is nearer to general, and the second one is nearer to specialized meditations.
Yeah,
Not
correct.
specifically, but nearly, because even this and some forms of intellectual understanding comes in in the initial states of special also, because of discriminative thinking, philosophical thinking, and all.
Yes, correct. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So there's a diagram. What's
So
aspects of
aspects of Baba
Baba's?
teaching and attributes of God, knowledge, love,
Oh, okay. The
service, the master.
different aspects that you can focus on the during the meditation. So everything from God realization down to all the aspects. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll continue.
Yeah, you can continue. The last line on the second column.
Yeah. A second focus is how Baba's explanation of meditation integrates the four major pathways to God. The four pathways are Bhakti Yoga, path of love, Karma Yoga, path of service, Jnana Yoga, path of knowledge, Raja Yoga, path of meditation and renunciation. Regarding the four paths, Baba explains that each form represents a type of spiritual practice, a sadhana. The practicing the practicing of a sadhana amounts to a partial participation in the goal. Hence, it becomes understandable why many of the spiritual sadhanas must be taken seriously as if they were in themselves the goal. Discourses page 260. Interestingly, if one faithfully practices meditation according to Baba's guidelines by incorporating all the various meditations which he describes into one's practice, an aspirant will end up an aspirant will end up also traversing each of the other pathways. By that I mean one will end up also practicing bhakti yoga, devotion, karma yoga, service, jnana yoga, knowledge, in addition to raja yoga, meditation. So, although meditation is one of the four pathways, Baba's guidance does not allow one to traverse only that one pathway. Can discuss on this? Yeah. Anything to discuss on?
Um, no, I'm just processing what he's saying. So how does the others also help you get into meditation? I'm wondering. Yeah.
No, no. Actually, Baba's techniques of meditation is this is what he's saying in the sense when he says meditation of heart, love to heart,
Love.
you
Yeah.
can relate it to bhakti yoga. Meditation in action is karma yoga. I that's what I think he's trying to relate.
Correct.
And jnana yoga, you can say it as associated with that discriminative meditation. Or even the special in the special forms of meditation, when you first you start with understanding that all the forms are part of the same soul, then you try to slowly realize every form is same. That is jnana yoga. So the Baba's teachings on meditation covers these all is what he's trying to say, and I kind of agree with it also.
Yeah, I see your point. I think thanks for that clarity. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Jay Baba. Uh, of course, as you all already said, it's there in the a lot of things we can take from discourses, but also what I'm trying to say is that we can do group meditation. It's been found that people who are doing meditation for the first time, it helps them if they are in a group to come to that level of doing it alone or doing it in a lesser group. But to answer Karthik's query, how does group or how does combined practices help? So I think was that a question, or maybe I don't know.
No, no,
I
I think I think the examples and the explanation by Praveen helped me understand. Thank you.
oh,
My
great.
question was only what is the linkages, but I think Praveen beautifully described it.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
I'll continue.
Yeah.
In fact, Baba explains that one of the ways in which the various forms of meditation can be categorized is by the aspect of personality which is brought into play. Each of these aspects of personality represent one of the three pathways. The three general categories based upon personality are meditation of the intellect, connected to the path of knowledge, meditation of the heart, connected to the path of devotion, meditation of action, connected to the path of service. Regarding these three forms of meditation, Baba states discriminative meditation is represented by intellectual assertion of a formula like I am not my body but the infinite. The meditation of the heart is represented by a steady and unhampered flow of love from the aspirant to the divine beloved. The meditation of action is represented by an unreserved dedication of one's life to the selfless service of a perfect master or of humanity. Of these three types, the meditation of the heart is the highest and the most important. But the other two types also have their own value and cannot be neglected without serious detriment to the spiritual progress of the aspirant. Discourses 1995, page 210. Karthik, it's anyway there here.
Yeah,
We just discussed earlier, that's all.
exactly. Exactly.
In his discourses, Baba states that a second way to categorize meditation is according to the following. The function of the, the function meditation performs in spiritual advancement, the part of personality that is predominantly brought into play during the process of meditation, the items of experience it tries to understand.
So
Regarding the first,
these three are the principles. So if you look at
yes,
I think the second chapter, he starts by saying, I will classify meditation in using three principles, and these are the three principles.
correct.
Richard just uses the word categorization.
Yeah, it didn't use the word principles actually. Correct.
Yeah.
This is categorization basis the principle.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
The
Regarding the
principle
first
of
category,
classification is what Discourses says. He's saying categorization.
yeah, yeah.
That's it.
I think there is a functioning of mind, right? Based upon the functioning of mind, that's something else.
Yeah.
If I,
The
if
first one
I
is
will
this one.
just,
Yeah.
which one? What I'm saying is, Baba specifically used a word like it is categorization basis the functioning of mind. Let me just refer to it. Function
Types.
mind performs in
Baba used the word types.
No, no, no.
That's on
part
page
two.
part two is in your
Yeah.
book.
Yeah,
Function
it
meditation
basically looks
performs
at
in
the
spirit.
condition
Exactly the same. He's using exactly the same
same,
words.
right?
Can you see?
Okay, yeah, I can see. Okay, fine. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, we can go to the article. I think, Karthik, you restarted your iPad. iPad, what you call it?
Okay, I'll just reshare. Going to be
No, no, no,
super
no.
patient. Ah,
I was saying yesterday, I think you restarted your laptop.
Oh, so it's working. No, 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 no. I was late because I restarted in the morning. So it's working properly, right?
It's
Yeah,
working properly. That's what I'm saying.
at
Okay, okay.
the moment we can see the screen. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
Because
Thank you.
I was waiting for the black screens and they're not coming. So,
Okay, okay.
fine, fine. Regarding the first categorization, the function meditation, we go to the next page.
Yeah. No, I think, yeah. Anyway, we'll see this photograph.
This
This is
is
Toka.
Toka. Toka means I think that we meditated, right? We read last week.
Yeah,
Uh,
Panchavati Cave.
Panchavati. Paul Burton. Ah, mm.
The
Paul Burton, I
infamous
think hero.
interview.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is another photograph seated outside cave at Tiger
Tiger
Valley.
Valley on.
Okay, continue.
Okay. The function mind performs in. I think this is a middle sentence. I forgot what I read earlier. 30 just words. Yeah, yeah. Regarding the first categorization, the function meditation performs in spiritual advancement. Baba explains that there are two categories: dissociative meditation and associative meditation. Regarding these types, Baba explains meditation has to serve the purpose of associating consciousness with the eternal truth and of dissociating consciousness from the false and unimportant things of the phenomenal world. Through associative meditation, the aspirant tries to unite with the spiritual ideal as mentally construed, constructed by him. Through dissociative meditation, the aspirant tries to separate himself from the condition that come to him as anti-spiritual. Discourses 1995, page 220. An example of dissociative meditation is the statement, I am not my desires. And an example of associative meditation is the statement, I am infinite. The intent is to dissociate from things which binds one to illusion and to associate oneself with the aspects of God. The third categorization of meditation is based upon the aspect of experience one tries to understand. Baba explains that there are two subcategories, general meditation and specialized meditation. General meditation and specialized meditation. In general meditation, one attempts to understand and assimilate divine truths through intellectual means. It includes reading the teachings of Baba or other masters with the goal of integrating the different facets of the truth to create a comprehensive spiritual understanding. Baba explains that an aspirant practicing general meditation will go through three stages. In the first stage, the aspirant will have to read the exposition daily and simultaneously think about it. In the second stage, actually reading becomes unnecessary, but the subject matter of the exposition is mentally revived and thought over constantly. In the third stage, it is quite unnecessary for the mind to revive the words in the exposition separately and consecutively, and all discursive thinking about the subject matter comes to an end. At this stage of meditation, the mind is no longer occupied with any train of thought, but has a clear, spontaneous, and intuitive perception of the sublime truths expressed in the exposition. Discourses, page 221. Thus, in general meditation, one progresses from intellectual thinking to intuitive perception. Did, did the screen sharing go off, Karthik?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's because of
Ah,
my fingers. Sorry. Is it back?
Not yet.
No, not yet, not yet.
It's coming. It's coming. Okay. I'll read this paragraph again.
I think
Thus,
we are
in
not,
general
we are not
meditation,
playing faster fingers first. So anyway, Jay Baba.
fastest fingers. Thus, in general meditation, one progresses from intellectual thinking to intuitive perception. This form of meditation is clearly a meditation linked to the path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga. Specialized meditations. The specialized meditations are meant to take an aspirant beyond the intellect and toward actual experience. Baba divides these meditations into three categories: meditations concerned with the objects of experience, meditation concerned with the subject of experience, meditation concerned with mental operations. The object of experience consists of those things which exist outside of oneself, whereas the subject of experience are those things which occur internally within one's mind. One's mind. The goal of meditation is to silence one's mind. As Baba says, only in complete internal silence is truth found. To make the mind blank, one must first become fully aware of one's mental operations, including one's thoughts and feelings, which are often subconscious. Once there is awareness of these subconscious processes, one can begin to attempt to control them through the meditation on mental operations. In total, there are 12 forms of specialized meditation. Four of them are personal forms of meditation, meaning they are focused on a person, either Baba or other perfect masters and avatars of the past. The remaining eight are the impersonal forms of meditation, which focus on external objects or mental operations. Baba explains that these forms of meditation are intertwined and they are not then and there is not and that there is not always clear distinction between them. For example, while one is focusing on an aspect of God, one might also be aware of what type of mental operation is at work within one's mind at that moment. Perhaps one feels resistance, perhaps it's an outpouring of love. He also explains that at first one might not have an aptitude to focus on the impersonal aspects of God, which tend to be abstract. Many might find it dry and difficult, whereas love for the master often flows more naturally. Spiritual perfection requires a balance between mind and heart, and personal meditation helps to develop the heart and quiet the mind, leading to a balance between them. Impersonal meditation often becomes more fruitful after one becomes prepared through personal meditation. Personal meditation. Meher Baba explains that there are four forms of personal meditation: meditation on the divine qualities of the Master, concentration on the forms of Master, meditation of the heart, meditation of the action, meditation on the divine qualities of the Master. Appreciation of the divinity pursued in the Master gives rise to forms of meditation in which the aspirant constantly and strenuously thinks of the Master as being an embodiment of qualities like universal love or complete detachment, egolessness or steadfastness, infinite knowledge or selfless action. It then leads to a greater understanding of the Master and gradually remolds the aspirant into a likeness of master, thus contributing towards his self-preparation for the realization of the truth. Discourses page 231. This meditation on the divine qualities of the master integrates into a single experience by recognizing them all within Baba, the master. He is perceived as the embodiment of all divine attributes. Concentration on the form of the master. In this type of meditation, the aspirant is aware of the spiritual perfection of the master and he spontaneously fixes his attention upon the form of the master without analyzing his spiritual perfection into any of its component qualities. However, though these qualities are not separately reviewed in the mind, all that the aspirant may have understood of them through the preparatory meditation concerned with the diverse qualities of master constitutes the implicit background of such one-pointed concentration and contributes towards its efficacy and value. This form of meditation involves complete identification of the master with the spiritual ideal. Discourses page 231 to 232. In this meditation on the form of the master, the aspirant no longer uses his intellect while perceiving the master. He now grasps the master's significance intuitively without thought. The master's form is experienced as spiritual ideal. Meditation of the heart. Complete identification of the master with the spiritual ideal. With the spiritual ideal is responsible for removing such barriers as might exist between the aspirant and the master. Gives rise to the release of unrestrained love for the master and leads to the meditation of the heart, which consists in constant thinking about the master with an uninterrupted flow of limitless love. Such love annihilates the illusion of separateness, which seems to divide the aspirant from the master, and it has in it a spontaneity that is virtually without parallel in other forms of meditation. In its final stages, meditation of the heart is accompanied by unbounded joy and utter forgetfulness of self. Discourses page 231 and 232. Baba states that the meditation of the heart is the most important form of meditation. In this meditation, the heart is awakened. Meditation is in this meditation, the heart is awakened. Meditation is no longer an intellectual exercise along the path of knowledge, nor an exercise in concentration. For now, one is initiated into the practice of Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion. Through the inclusion of devotion, an aspirant takes another step towards leading a balanced spiritual life that will eventually include all the pathways to God. We can go through
Okay,
the
well,
pictures.
yeah, yeah.
The grotto of Saint Francis, also known as Eremo delle Carceri, is located in Assisi, Italy, and is a significant place where Saint Francis prayed and slept on a stone bed in a cave.
Did we lose you, Praveen? Uh, Benedictine monks donated the
Benedictine
cave. Yeah, go ahead.
donated the cave to Saint Francis in 1215, and he spent time there in a peaceful forest of centuries old old oaks, where he learned to pray intensely. Meher Baba did his universal work while secluded in this cave in 1932.
Pleader.
Yeah, leader. One of Baba's disciples was directed by Baba to meditate in the cave in Tiger Valley. Here he is seen outside the cave. He is attained the moksha, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
story.
maybe we can rotate the reading. Anybody wants to read now?
I can read.
Yeah. Uh, is that okay? Thank you, Praveen. Ashish, you can go ahead. Meditation of action.
Yes, yes.
So basically, till now, what I'm seeing is it's actually a repetition and a quick summary of whatever we have learned already. So I'm yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
we can
Meditation
always
of
take
action.
it. Please go ahead.
Love for the master leads to increasing identification with the master, so that the aspirant desires to live in and for master and not for his own narrow self. This leads to meditation of action. The initial modes of meditation of action take the following forms. First, the aspirant mentally offers the master all that is in him, thus renouncing all that is good or evil in him. This frees him from the good as well as the bad ingredients of the ego and helps him not only in transcending these opposites but also in finding a lasting and true integration with the master. Second, the aspirant volunteers himself in the service of the master or his cause. Doing work for the master in the spirit of selfless service is good as a meditation. The aspirant does not allow the ego to feed upon any of his action, small or great, good or bad. He does not think, I do this, but on contrary, systematically develops the thought that through him the master is really doing all that he does. For example, when he looks, he thinks the master is look the master is looking. When he eats, he thinks the master is eating. When he sleeps, he thinks the master is sleeping. When he drives a car, he thinks the master is driving the car. Even when he may happen to do something wrong, he thinks the master is doing this. Thus, he completely relinquishes all agency for his actions, and all that is done by him is brought into direct reference to the master. Discourses, page number 231-32. An aspirant who engages in the meditation of action continues to expand upon the pathway which they travel toward God. One is now also traversing the path of Karma Yoga, the path of service. It's important to reiterate what Baba states about this pathway. Doing work for the Master in the spirit of selfless service is good as a meditation. Thus, we see that by faithfully following the four forms of personal meditation, Baba first guides one along the path of knowledge, then along the path of devotion, and finally along the path of action. All pathways are now incorporated into one's relation to Baba, and one lives a balanced spiritual life. As we see, Baba explains meditation in action as relinquishing of all agencies for one's action. It is a step toward obedience and surrenderance to the Master. When one feels that Baba is working through one and that it is he who is really doing all that the aspirant does, then one has surrendered their will to the Master. The next series of meditation are impersonal that do not focus on the Master as a person. Meditation on all forms of life. In this type of meditation, the aspirant acquires the constant habit of regarding all forms of equally the manifestations of the same one all pervading life and is nothing in themselves separately. This type of meditation it's disent, disentanglement from the world of creation and further cultivation of the highest type of universal love, which regards the whole of humanity and all living creatures as members of an indivisible whole. Discourses, page number 234 5. This meditation builds upon the foundation one has acquired through studying Baba's theme of creation. Through this meditation, one goes beyond intellectual understanding and moves toward actual feelings of unity with all of life. It begins with realization that one is part of something much larger than themselves. Each one of the product of a vast evolutionary process. Each human soul has previously incarnated in countless life forms. This realization leads one to experiencing unity with everything and eventually leading one to unity with God. Meditation regarding one's own body. One's own body, gross, subtle, or mental, is like the bodies of other forms of the all forms of all the forms of the one all pervading life. Nonetheless, consciousness is fixed on one's own bodies by attachment so deep that it identifies itself with them. Continued thoughts of detachment concerning one's own body help emancipation of consciousness and a dawn of true self-knowledge. Meditation of this type is very fruitful for the aspirant. The gross, subtle, and mental bodies are all then regarded as cloaks that one can put on or off. Discourses, page 235. This dissociative form of meditation builds upon the previous meditation, which focus on the unity of life, with the understanding that there is only one all pervading life. An aspirant can detach from constantly focusing on one's body and mind and begin to identify with something larger than themselves, the entire evolutionary process, and eventually with God. The importance of detachment is also discussed by Baba in his discourses entitled The Overcoming of Suffering Through Detachment. In this discourse, Baba explains how detachment from desires connected to one's body is how one can become free of all suffering, which in turn leads to happiness. To be able to detach from one's body is preparation for the next form of meditation in which one attempts to associate with the formless and infinite aspect of God. Meditation on formless and infinite aspect of God. In the form of meditation, the mind tries to understand and realize the formless and infinite aspect of God by means of a significant symbol. The mind may be made steady on an image of sky, ocean, or vast emptiness. From these symbols of infinity, complete and unlimited emptiness is difficult to imagine. There is an important variation of the impersonal form of meditation. It is the infinity one imagines is not mentally externalized as if it were an unlimited stretch of something outside the aspirant. It is more helpful to picture infinity as within the aspirant. Discourses, page 235 6. The infinite nature of God is a theme found throughout all of Meher Baba's recharge. For example, in the discourse entitled The Infinity of the Truth, Baba explains that spiritual infinity is distinguished from mathematical infinity. Mathematical infinity is a collection of an infinite number of separate things, while spiritual infinity is all inclusive oneness. It is infinite because there is nothing else, it is everything, it is God. In the discourse on God and individual, Baba explains why the finite world and finite things are an illusion. To be infinite, it must include everything. If anything else existed along with the infinite could not be infinite. So anything not part of infinite must be illusory. The infinite nature of God is also fundamental to God's explanation of how the universe emerged from God. For the infinite everything to know itself, it contrasts itself to its opposite, absolute nothingness, and out of that nothing the universe emerged and evolved. The infinite nature of God is not limited to spatial dimensions. Time is also infinite. It is eternal. God is infinite, power infinite, knowledge, the infinite bliss. And Baba explains what is most important is to understand the experience God is infinite love. In the discourse entitled God is infinite love, Baba states, it is true that God is infinite knowledge, infinite existence, infinite power, and infinite bliss. But God is not understood in his essence until he is also understood as the infinite love. In the beyond state, from which the entire universe springs and into which it ultimately merges, God is eternally infinite love. Discourses, page number 239, page number 399. In this meditation on the formless and infinite aspect of God, Baba stresses that it is more beneficial to visualize the infinite as residing within oneself than to think of God as being external. The notion that God is the inner dweller in all is also found throughout the Baba's teaching. In fact, it is the basis of the seven realities found at the beginning of discourses. The first two realities are the only real existence is that of the one and only God, who is the self in every finite self. The only real love is the love for this infinity God, which arouses as an intense longing to see, know, and become one with the truth. In bracket God, discourses page 1. God is the inner self in all, and that inner self is infinite. With that understanding, the aspirant develops a longing towards experience the infinite within. Maybe you can see that photo of Nosherwan on the
Yeah,
top.
yeah, yeah.
He's doing something. Nosherwan Ansar leading a mindful uh, divinity meditation session of Beloved Archives, photos by Srinivas Editha. Here we're talking about discourses, but our definition of meditation is different, right? It's like, yeah, this is correct. But meditation mostly on the how I can improve myself through meditation to go close to Baba, right? In simple thing, which I don't see it's a very simple thing which explains here to how should I do the meditation, because our meditation difference definition little bit different. Like do this, do yoga, take Baba's name, do sadhana, something like that, right? So,
So I'm not sure what you mean by our definition.
yeah, means India means I'm not talking as not Baba.
Ah,
Means
okay,
not
okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Correct, correct, correct,
Mhm.
correct, correct. So, yeah. Uh,
But here
the,
we are reading about Meher Baba and his
yes, yes,
discourses.
yes,
So
Yeah,
obviously his divine words are different than common words and our old beliefs.
yes,
And uh, uh, someone here talking meditation on any figure or even on Baba, it could be in this category that Baba is explaining the infinite aspect of God, or the infinite, so uh, once you think of the infinite, then you can have Baba. That's actually, you can have Baba in your mind and in your heart. Yeah, you could do the formless or you could do the form. Depends, of where you are with your sanskaras. Here, Baba is introducing different method and different kind. Jai Baba.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Jai Baba. Thank you. So we can continue.
yeah, the goal is not to imagine or create the infinite within, but rather to remove the veil hiding the infinite which already exists eternally within everyone. The aim of the next series of meditation is to gain control of one's mind. To experience truth, the veil must be removed. The ego and the mind must be annihilated. The following meditation help one to achieve that goal through first observation of the mind's process and then through control of one's thought and feelings. Quest for agent of action. One such important form of meditation consists in ceaselessly uh, pressing the query, who is it that does all these things? The aspirant finds himself thinking, I sleep, walk, eat, and talk. I see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. I think, feel, and desire, and so forth. The searching question, this form of meditation is concerned with his who is this I. The soul does not experience any of these things. The soul does not sleep, walk, eat, or talk, see, hear, touch, taste, or smell, think, feel, or desire. Who then is the agent? The source of all these activities must be discovered, and the mystery of all life must be explained. There is a power that does all these things, and one must know oneself to be different from the power and be able to use it with detachment. The aspirant thinks that he sees, hears, thinks, feels, or desires. It is really his mind that does all these things through some convenient medium. As soul, the aspirant is everywhere and really does nothing, but it is enough to think that as a soul, he is everywhere and really does nothing. He must know this. He must know this. Discourses, page number 236-7. This type of
Karthik,
meditation.
can I make a comment, Karthik, for this one that we just read?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Can
Go
you
ahead.
roll it up a bit? Yeah, just thought it's somehow I was able to relate it together. No more. You just
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, please, yeah. Thank you. No, yeah, that's good. That's good enough. This is very important because when Baba says that this is nothing, nothing exists. This is all illusion. Or I'm using different phrase how he talks about this in different way, and same thing. Or you're imagining this, or this is temporary, or it's like you're sleeping when you wake up from this dream, what the real truth is, on and on and on. Fortunately, uh, so uh, here I think what I pick up is that it is our mind that identifies with our body, depends on which plane of consciousness we are in. I mean, if we are in gross consciousness, it identifies with gross body, or subtle plane with subtle body, or mental, and on. So it's our mind that creates all these imaginary things. It's our mind that thinking, it's like he he asserts for us to believe that we think, we feel, we desire. But in reality, the soul, Baba says, is not doing anything. So if you are sleeping, walking, eating, that's not soul. And what is soul? Soul is the real truth. Soul is never changes. Soul is the one that where God resides, right? So uh, it's interesting for me that here Baba in another language says that it is our mind that creates and relates to these five senses. Yeah, yeah. And then Baba says soul is not doing anything. It's everywhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So I think,
yeah, that quote, it was very nice what Baba said. The soul that I said, yeah. It is really his mind that does all these things through some convenient medium, which is our gross,
yes.
three bodies. As soul, the aspirant is everywhere and really does nothing. But it is not enough to think that. As soul, he is everywhere and really does nothing. He must know this. That
Yeah.
means our consciousness needs to know, distinguish between these two. And right now, we're not. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not. We're identifying with this body, with this mind, with this ego, da 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 da. Anyway, J Baba, I thought that was very beautiful what Baba said. In a minimum terms, I explained a lot, but Baba did it very minimum. Yeah.
The agency of action and elimination, iterative elimination is a technique used in philosophy, and the neti neti principle also does that, right? So basically, you start questioning, and in that process of questioning and internal discovery, you eliminate those that don't apply, and eventually lead to the truth, right? So that is what Baba is trying to achieve here by narrowing down to where we need to go. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so in a way, there is a good use of our mind too, right?
Oh,
When through this
absolutely.
process, yeah,
So
go ahead.
I always we discuss for the last few years about a very prominent analogy, right? The mind is absolutely essential in the spiritual process, but it's also to be destroyed in the end. Without the mind, you cannot make the progress, but the mind has to go before reaching the eternal goal, right? So, yeah, we use an analogy of a pole vaulter. So, the person who's playing the sport of pole vaulting
Mm-hmm.
needs the pole to get the altitude, to get the height. So, he
Yes.
needs to run and keep the pole down at the right time and get the height. So, the
Mm-hmm.
pole is very, very critical. But he has to let go of the pole at the right time, which is Manonash, without which he
Yeah.
can't make the jump. Otherwise, he'll crash. So
Yeah.
we use that analogy to understand the role of the mind. Important role, but you have to also know when the mind has outlived its utility and needs to go. And that's
Yeah.
Manonash.
That's very, very, very good analogy. Does Baba use this analogy or you guys
No,
come
no,
up with it?
I no. I heard it from Dan in the Saraswati, a Vedanta master who is no more.
Yes,
But
of
I find
course.
it very, very beautiful to understand the role of the mind.
Yes, yes, Vedanta is the closest to Baba's teaching. Yes, very
Yes,
nice.
yes.
Good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Ashish, you can continue. Yeah. Yeah, Baba.
yeah, considering, I've started considering oneself as a witness.
Yes.
Yeah, considering oneself as a witness. Knowledge of the soul may also be approached through a form of meditation in which the aspirant tries to realize himself as merely a witness of all physics and mental happening. As a witness, the soul remains aloof from all event in time, and the result of action do not bind it. All this must be experienced and not merely thought about. Discourses, page number 236-7. In the next series of meditations, the goal now becomes stilling one's mind. Truth is only experienced in a silent mind. Importance of stilling the mind. The forms of meditation concerned with the subject of experience, however, suffer from the handicap, and the true subject of experience can never be object of thought or meditation in the ordinary sense. Thus, this forms of meditation can at best take the aspirant very close to self-knowledge, which can only dawn in its full glory when the domain of the mind is completely traversed. Some impersonal forms of specialized meditation are therefore concerned with mental operations, and they ultimately aim at stilling the mind. Discourses, page 237. Baba makes an important differentiation between the object and the subject of experience. The object of experience is that which is being observed or witnessed. Even one's thoughts and feelings are part of objective experience. It includes anything which one is conscious of. The subject of experience is that which is doing the observing. It is pure consciousness. Consciousness persists even after the body and mind are transcended. The, the next step is stilling one's mind is to become aware of one's thought. Writing down thoughts. It is helpful, therefore, for the aspirant occasionally to write down all his thoughts as they come and then to inspect them carefully at leisure. This process is different from writing planned essays. Thoughts are allowed to arise without any direction or restraint, so that even repressed elements from the subconscious mind have access to the conscious mind. Discourses, page 237. The need for repressed elements of the subconscious to enter into consciousness is also discussed in the discourse entitled The Nature of the Ego and its Termination Too. Baba describes how most of the ego remains subconscious, and therefore the ego's elimination requires first becoming aware of those subconscious elements. Writing down thoughts is one means of gaining that awareness.
Jay Baba Karthik, can I intervene? Uh, can we go to the previous paragraph? And I want one more analogy I want to share with the group. Perhaps you already know it. You know this. They're talking about stilling one's mind is to become aware of one's thoughts. So the analogy which comes to me uh, is that of a lake. So if you throw a stone in a placid lake, it creates ripples. So the thoughts are like ripples. You, you got to still the mind and to, to achieve manonas is a very far fetched for many of us. But I think stilling the mind and having a placid lake like mind is perhaps the precondition for manonas. This is
Yep.
what I wanted to share.
Lovely analogy. Yeah, thank you. That's a you also it's a oft used analogy. A lot of masters, a lot of
And yes, yes,
cultures use that.
I must have
Yes, it's
read it
also a
somewhere, maybe a YouTube university or somewhere I have read it. It's not mine, but yes, I just wanted to share with the group because the stilling of mind reminded me of that.
also meditation. It's also a meditation technique. Yeah. Yeah.
Jeva.
Let's continue watching mental operations.
Watching mental operations. In a more advanced stage, an intensive awareness of the mental process can take place while Thoughts appear in the consciousness and writing them down becomes unnecessary. Observations of mental operations should be accompanied by critical evaluation of one's thoughts. Thoughts cannot be controlled except through an appreciation of their value or lack of value. When the diverse thoughts that assail the mind are critically evaluated and the internal stirrings of sanskaras are faced, understood, and taken for what they are worth, the mind is freed from all obsessions and compulsions in relation to them. Discourses, page 238. The importance of evaluating thoughts and actions is also discussed in the first of the discourses on the nature of the ego and its termination. There, Baba stresses the need to evaluate thoughts and actions according to right values. It is thought acting with right values and love that one's ego get diminished. Baba also touches upon this subject in one of the discourses on Maya. The way to overcome the illusion of Maya is through correct evaluation. Only though correct evaluation can the ego be eliminated. The most important step toward eliminating the ego and annihilating the mind is to make the mind blank. This is the final
I
goal
think,
of meditation.
yeah, yeah. I think it should be only through correct evaluation can the ego be uh, eliminated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's a missing letter. Yeah, it's a typo. Continue.
Making the mind blank. A way is thus prepared for meditation that attempts to make the mind blank, which is one of the most difficult things to achieve. Discourses, page 238. Another condition of attaining truth through impersonal meditation is that the aspirant should be able to make his mind still. This becomes possible only when all the diverse sanskaras, impressions in the mind have vanished. As the final wiping out of sanskaras is possible only through the grace of Master. The Master is indispensable for success even along the path of impersonal meditation. Discourses, page 26. The agitation of the mind can disappear only when the aspirant can so control his mind that all thoughts can be ruled out at will. Only in complete internal silence is truth found. When the surface of the lake is still, it reflects the stars. When the mind is tranquil, it reflects the nature of the soul as it is. Discourses, page 238. Making the mind blank integrates many aspects of Baba's teaching. When the mind is blank, the ego does not function, sanskaras are not expressed, nor the new sanskaras accumulated. Illusion is in abeyance. The mind has surrendered. Only the soul remains as an observer. Making the mind blank means that the mind is now focused on nothing. It is movement toward the nirvana, a state in which only the nothing exists. Nirvana is the state of consciousness which remains after the mind has been completely annihilated. In this state, only consciousness exists. Baba offers a technique to help an aspirant still one's mind. He recommends an alternation between two incompatible forms of meditation so that the mind is caught between concentration and distraction. This discourses, page 238. An example he gives is for the aspirant to focus on the form of master for 5 minutes and switching to meditating on the infinite aspect of God. When there is a quick alteration between concentration and distraction, mental operations are, as it were, cut through by a saw that goes backward and forward. Discourses, page 23. Nirvikalpa Samadhi. A blank mind is not an annihilated mind. No matter how profound the experience, it is limited because the experience is temporary. After meditation is complete, one returns to a normal state of human consciousness and is once again under control of sanskaras. Although making the mind blank is a great achievement, it is still does not take an aspirant to the final goal. For that, the grace of avatar or the perfect master is required. Okay, the aspect of this is just diagram I am reading. Aspect of annihilation of the mind. The center is nirvana, annihilation of the mind, then detachment. After detachment, I'm not able to read that one. Surrenderance of self,
Will, self will, elimination of
self
sanskaras, elimination of the ego, making the
making the
mind
mind
still and
still
nothingness.
and nothingness. This one I don't know. After detachment,
Yeah, second one we don't know. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
The final goal, the God realization is the topic of the last two discourses on meditation. In first of these two discourses, Baba discusses Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the I am God state. And the topic of the final discourse on meditation is Sahas Samadhi, the state of the perfect master and avatar. The different forms of meditation, the preparatory to the attainment of the Nirvikalpa Samadhi state, in bracket I am God state, the Nirvikalpa Samadhi of the Siddha or God realized being is continuous with all the prior forms of meditation, and through the grace of perfect master it can be uh, culmination of them. However the unique however it is unique and of an entirely different dimension. Discourses page 240. Here Baba explains that the different forms of meditation are preparatory to and continuous with the state of God realization. This suggests that each form of meditation consists of some element of that final state. Love for Master, feeling oneness with all of life, transcending the illusion of the bodies, experiencing the infinite within identifying soul, and going beyond mind are all aspects of experiencing God realization. And as noted earlier, Baba states the practicing of sadhana amounts to be partial participation in the goal. Discourses page 260. So now let's go to diagram type of meditation and culmination in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Studying the master's discourses, it's connected to the infinite knowledge. Concentration on the master's form is connected to the universal body and mind. Meditation of the heart connected to the infinite love. Then volunteer to serve the master, the selfless service. Meditation on all life forms, experience of being one with all.
I think you start with a simple concept, and as you go and make spiritual progress, you discover the truth. Yeah.
Therefore, each form of meditation allows for particular experience of God. Each type of meditation leads to experiencing one or more God's attributes, but not in entirely. To experience God in totality, all of God's attributes must be experienced simultaneously. With the achievement of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, all of attributes of God combine into simultaneous singular experience. One knows oneself as God. Another factor differentiating prior forms of meditation from the goal is that during meditation, effort is required. Although there are occasions of spontaneity, especially during meditation of the heart, that spontaneity is not continuous. On the other hand, once one has achieved Nirvikalpa Samadhi, effort is no longer required. Baba describes this state as infinite spontaneity. Types of meditation and culmination in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Meditation on the one own body, transcending one's bodies. The infinite aspect of God, union with infinite God, with the agent of action.
Quest for agent of action.
for agent of action, infinite power, watching mental operations, universal body and mind, making the mind blank, infinite love. There is the infinite spontaneity of unfettered freedom and the unbroken peace and bliss of truth realization. Discourses, page 242. In the final discourse on meditation, Baba explains the need for one to first transcend the physical sphere associated with the physical body, then the need to transcend the energy domain associated with the subtle body, and finally to transcend the mind state. To accomplish this, an aspirant must develop infinite longing for God and at the same time cultivate infinite patience. Next is Sahas Samadhi. The entire advance from the very beginning consists in gradually uh, curtailing and transcending the working of individual mind. The mind is functioning even in the body state and in the energy state. The mind has therefore to be completely merged and dissolved in the infinite before it is possible to experience the God state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Form it is solidified energy. Energy is an expression of mind. Mind is the covered mirror of eternity, and eternity is truth that has thrown off the mask of mind. To discard the
Just
limiting
repeat.
mind,
Just
yeah,
repeat from form.
form is solidified energy. Energy is an expression of mind. Mind is the covered mirror of eternity, and eternity is truth that has thrown off the mask of mind.
Beautiful, isn't it? Or you can come backwards. Truth is eternity. Eternity is covered by the mirror of the mind. Mind is nothing but energy, and energy is nothing but form. It's a beautiful description. Continue.
Kartik, can you roll it up? I think the diagram, maybe we can relate it to the diagram that, yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, this one here. Do we go higher than this?
Oh, you mean the one on the right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one on the right. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. It's just one statement from that. Yes, you're
One
right.
statement, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the last line, I think.
Discard limiting mind is no easy thing. The chief, the chief difficulty is that the mind must be annihilated through the mind itself. The master explained that in order to attain God, he had to long intensely for union with him, as if he could not live another moment without it, and it to have the inexhaustible patience that could wait for billions of years. Discourses, page 248. And eternity is truth that has thrown off the mask of mind. Discourses, page 248. To live balanced spiritual life. We have now seen that the following Meher Baba's guidance on meditation, one is led to live a balanced spiritual life, which is inclusive
I
of
think
all
this
four
is
parts.
leave. I'm sorry,
It's
I
live,
should
yeah.
just
To live a
leave.
yeah,
Yeah.
to live a
Can
balanced
you read
life,
from
and
the
then
title, To Live a
yeah,
Balanced Spiritual Life?
To live a balanced spiritual life. We have now seen that by following Meher Baba's guidance on meditation, one is led to live balanced spiritual life, which is inclusive of all four paths to God: devotion, service, knowledge, and meditation. And we have also seen how meditation acts as means for integrating many of Baba's various teachings and attributes of God. First thing, intellectual understanding, then intuitive knowing, and finally through experience. In the final discourse on meditation, Baba summarizes who might benefit from meditation. The different form of general and specialized meditation resorted, resorted to by the aspirant are useful and valuable within their own limits. They must not be regarded as having the same value for all or as being equally necessary to all. They are among the ways what led the aspirant toward his divine destination. For the few who are in the advanced spiritual state, most of the ordinary forms of meditation are unnecessary. For those who are in direct contact with the perfect master or the avatar, many of the special forms of meditation are often unnecessary. It is enough for them to be under guidance of the master and to love him. And those rare beings who have attained self-realization and have become perfect masters themselves, themselves are always in the state of sahasamadhi or divinity in action. They not only do not need any forms of meditation, but they themselves become objects of meditation for the aspirants. For they for they are then able to give their best help to those who meditate upon them.
Jai Baba.
Jai Mer Baba.
I think so. Upon reflection and hindsight, this is more a repetition and a short summary of the 8 sections. And it's a reminder of what we already did. Praveen, I know it's late on your side, but are you able to show the presentation and finish that? Because we just have another 10 minutes. Praveen, you're on mute if you're trying to talk.
Yes, yes, I was trying to that one.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, now let me. I think I'll connect through my laptop as well because I'm connected through my mobile.
Okay.
Archie, can you tell me, is this article the continuation of last week by Richie Bloom?
Yes,
Or,
yes.
oh, so this is the same article by Richard Bloom. Okay.
No, it's not the same article. So there are two articles. I mean,
Ah,
both are from the same episode. I mean, so same edition of Glow. This is part one, starting here. Inner development is love. And this is part two, awakening the divinity within. The first one is personal. The second one is just a reproduction and summary of the 8 parts. That's the way I make of it.
yeah, yeah.
Hope hope
So
others agree.
Richard Bloom is the one who gathered all both of them together, or the second
Yes,
one
yes,
was written by someone
yes.
else?
No, both are Richard Blum. Here you go.
Hmm. Okay, he did a good job.
Richard Blum, Richard Blum. Yeah.
Jay Baba, Karthik, we couldn't see. I just request you if you can post it on Telegram, the PDF file or
Already done.
okay, okay, fine. Jay, thanks.
This was done weeks back.
Yeah, yeah, thanks.
See, that's the advantage of participating in group reading and group, because I received the digital version of a Globe, but I didn't even read it. But now
Yeah,
Bobo
I
made
know.
us to read it all, right?
Yes, yes. And the group reading always leads to a detailed and better absorption, personally.
Yes, yes.
Rightly,
Okay, all yours, Praveen.
Mahu just rightly said it's collective learning. Jay
Yes,
Baba.
that's true. Jay Baba.
So I just made a short presentation of this of the meditation. I don't say it is a comprehensive thing, but it's a just I can just the branches out of what Baba was actually explaining. It was categorized. Let us see if it might help us. Uh, the primary classification of meditation being pre-spiritual and spiritual. Pre-spiritual is nothing but the deep thinking on any worldly topic before a person becomes an aspirant. And when we replace this topic with something which is spiritually important or not the master, it is spiritual meditation, which is further explained in the slides. Now, spiritual meditation, Baba has broadly classified into general and specialized. Again, here Baba made two different classifications, which are there further in in this based on some principles. He also the principle, the function of mind, how the mind functions through when you are meditating. Based upon that, he has further classified meditation into function it performs in spiritual achievement, and or we can say what personality you bring in during the meditation or what to experience in the meditation. So these are three broad classifications based upon principles he has done. Now, the first two principles can be categorized under general, and the last principle, that is the experiences the mind tries to understand, can be classified into specialized meditation. So, the based upon the first principle, that is function the mind performs in spiritual advancement. I think we can go to the next slide. Also, here we can see that the principles distinguish the three, the spiritual meditation can be distinguished on three distinct principles. The first one is function the mind performs in spiritual advancement. In this, we have two classifications. One is associative and dissociative. And the second principle is predominant individual personality that is brought out during the process of meditation. Here, there are further classifications that are discriminative, which is identifying the important topic, important things for the spiritual advancement. Meditation of heart, which is love for the God. Meditation of action, which is actually selfless service. All these come under the general classification of spiritual meditations. And then the experiences, the third principle of spiritual meditation can be the classification third principle can be said as experiences the mind tries to understand. And this is like experiences it tries to understand, which can be the object of meditation, which is the mind, which is thinking, the object of meditation, which is outside the mind, personality, the subject of meditation, which is the mind, as a person, as a personality, and the mental operations, which is the mental operations are nothing but the link between object and subject. All this can be classified under the specialized forms of meditation. Now, now the spiritual, now the animations and all I haven't done in full, so you mind me for them. They are not coming complete, like I am not yet done with them. Yeah, now the spiritual path to ultimate truth is through meditation. And spiritual path to ultimate truth through meditation can be done in step by step ways, like the spiritual meditation, and then the ultimate goal. Because the pre-spiritual meditation is a meditation aspirant, like meditation before an aspirant becomes like a person does before becoming an aspirant.
So, got a question here. So, does Nirvikalpa sit in the goal side? Right?
It should
Can
be
you
the
hear
goal,
me?
right? Yeah. So I'm
Yeah,
saying the
yeah,
goal
yeah.
should be Nirvana, Nirvikalpa, and Samadhi. Can-
Exactly,
That is the
exactly.
goal.
Okay, okay. I think we should make that
So,
change.
yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Sure. I
Yeah,
think that is what should be
yeah.
done for the Yasa
So
Samadhi.
you start with pre-spiritual where it could be worldly objects, then you do
Okay.
meditation of the aspirant, and then finally, oh yeah, there it
The
is.
goal.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thanks.
So I think we bring here Nirvana, Nirvikalpa, and Sahaja in that order so that it becomes easier, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Because actually
yeah,
here
yeah.
you see the meditation of the aspirant. So meditation become so like when you're saying the meditation, if the person before becoming an aspirant, meditation of an aspirant, then the goal is meditation of the masters. Probably in that way. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I was perceiving it in that way. meditation of the masters we can mention. What do you say? Do you think that would be the right thing? And then the sub-classifications can be Nirvana, Nirvikalpa, and Sahasramadhi?
So you can't say meditation of the master. I think you can. I think I like the goal.
It
Just
is,
leave it there as goal. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
maybe in the big box, you just say divinity in action, but you can't say divinity in action because that's only
That
Sahaj.
is the attribute of the, yeah, exactly. That is the
Exactly,
attribute. I was
exactly.
just trying to get
Yeah,
the actual name. Probably we
yeah,
will get it surely. Because I'm
sure.
still trying to add some more things. We'll surely get to that. So now the meditation of the aspirant is further explained in the next slides. Meditation of the aspirant. This is again the same the further classification of general and specialized, but on the general and the specialized being further classified in some other manner as Maharbaba was doing in discourses. The general meditation can be said as philosophical thinking. This is nothing but the discriminative. Hearing discourses of master and reading the written expositions of master comes under what we can I can't exactly put these two under any of the instance any of the yeah any of the bifurcations which were explained here in this slide. So I couldn't categorize everything under this slide, so I have made a separate slide for it altogether. If anyone can help on this to such that like if anybody gets some insight on this how these can be further classified under the other classification, we will surely take it out. Do it. So now here the important things are reading the written expositions of master because Mehraba has given a lot of importance to this. And how the reading has to be done is again further described here. The first stage should be daily reading. The second stage should be without reading. You should be mentally reviving. The third stage is that you don't need to revive anything. It automatically flows through your mind. So you should just meditate on what that flows through what the assimilated information, what that flows through your mind. Now, the specialized meditation is further explained in the way that Mehrabab has given a detailed classification in the next slide, which we go here. The forms of specialized meditation. Meditation concerned with object of experience. These are the four: meditation on divine qualities of master, concentration on form of master, meditation of heart, meditation of action, and the meditation regarding numerous forms of manifested life, regarding one's own body, and meditation on formless infinite aspect of God. So all this comes under the object of experience because these are outside the person's own personality, these are object. And the subject of experience should be the quest for the agent and agent of action, considering oneself as will. Then the mental operations that goes through when you're doing this are writing down the thoughts, like the meditation on the through the mental operations, like meditation concerned with the mental operations, can be classified under classified further as writing down the thoughts that come through the subconscious to conscious, watching those mental operations, how they're coming and making the mind blank. The first four, which are the divine qualities and form, meditation of heart and action forms part of the personal meditation because these are on the personal forms of master, and all others are the impersonal meditation because these are on one's own attributes. You can say the subject, the the person who is doing the meditation, the form, the impersonal form. So it all concentrates on the impersonal form of God or the what do you call you can even say the personality of the what do you call impersonal the personality of the impersonal form. Okay. Now, this slide object of experience, this as explained by Meher, we can further give detail into the specialized forms of meditation. That is, object of experience during meditation is master or when the object of experience during meditation is master or is divine qualities, then it is a personal meditation. So, how it has to be done? Mehrab has given has given four steps like meditation on the qualities of master, is perceiving the spiritual identity in the master, then the concentration of the form of master, then the meditation of the heart, which is loving for the master, and meditation of action, which is expressing the spiritual ideal perceived in the master. So this is the final stage, or you can say Mehrab said this comes naturally or automatically. Now, how the meditation of action is done. He has given three different steps in it, like aspirant mentally offers everything to master. That is, he renounces good and renounces evil because both are what you call both are attaching. And volunteers in the service that is in the cause of master. He will serve master or self serve humanity selflessly, and he doesn't allow ego in any action. It is small, great, good, bad, which is no, he doesn't think I do this. He only thinks master is doing through me. So this is the way aspirant has to move in personal meditation. And when the object or subject of the experience during meditation is personality or something that falls outside the range of personality, it is impersonal meditation. Here, Baba has given the way, like the step on step, but is first you start with meditation, all forms of life, that is universal love. You think everything is God. Then meditation regarding one's own body, that is uh, continuous detachment, continuous thoughts of detachment, which ultimately leads to the self knowledge. Then the meditation on the formless and infinite aspect of God, because once you think that your body is not the real thing, then you think of a infinite aspect, any infinite aspect of in the nature, and meditate on that. Then the quest for agent of action, like who is doing all the things through me, it is the God. And in that way you just feel you are the witness and you are not the one who is doing. And then you move up further, like you start analyzing what is going in the subconscious and what is going in your conscious, and like you try to write down everything that's coming in your mind so that you can differentiate what is coming from the subconscious directly. Then by observing your thoughts, and then thereby by observing your mental operations, and ultimately trying to make the mind blank. And this process of making the mind blank can be achieved by alternating between for impersonal and personal meditation, that's concentration and the distraction. Like you do a personal meditation for 5 minutes on master and do an impersonal meditation and alternate it regularly. Probably this would help, because, and I don't know if anyone has tried, should be telling us if it's true or not, like if it can be achieved or not. Obviously it can be achieved because Baba has said it. And then I was trying this one. I'm not yet done, but this is the way. Like this is the ultimate goal. This is the goal of the entire thing. That is the nirvana, nirvikalpa samadhi, and sahaj samadhi. So once the mind is blank, that is, if it is a true blank, then your consciousness is withdrawn from all forms of the world of creation. Then it's called as nirvana. And once your body again, once the consciousness is again gained, but without any attachment of identification, this is divinity in expression, which is nirvikalpa samadhi. And I couldn't get the right connotation for Samasaha Samadhi. But it is divinity in action. We'll try to figure out something which can correlate and we can fit it in the box. And that's all for now. If we can further improve and present it further.
Wonderful, wonderful. A lot of effort has gone into it. I think thank you so much for taking the effort for the group, and I hope it has helped you understand this better. I think if you just go to slide sorter or go back 4 steps, I think the first comment I have, yeah, just show me the left side, please. Yeah, the slide sorter. I think slide 3 is optional. We can knock it off now. I
Yeah,
think.
I'm saying that.
Right?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, you can hide that.
You can
And then
directly go.
if you go down further, one more thought. The slide that needs more thinking is 6. So how does 6 correlate with 4? I'm confused.
Yeah, this one,
And
correct. Yeah, we need to
yeah,
correct. I
and,
agree.
and 5 should become 4
Yeah, yeah, correct.
because
And
it
I
doesn't
think
flow.
6 and
It doesn't flow. Anyway, I don't want to derail by giving feedback on the call. I'm just thinking because
no,
I
no, no, no,
know
no.
you put a lot of work and I want to help you in whatever limited
No, no,
way.
feedback
This
is,
is just,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Thank you so
Feedback is
much.
welcome,
Yeah.
because actually I was also feeling the same thing. I was feeling this odd place, but I couldn't fit it anywhere other than
Yeah.
explaining
Yeah.
further.
Yeah.
But because I
Yeah.
just wanted to do this slide as a separate thing, because this is actually, it looks like a path towards the ultimate goal. So explaining
Yeah.
meditation as way of path, we can even take it as in another dimension. This is what I thought. But we can make sure
Yes.
that everything flows in a place. We'll surely, over a period of time, meditating upon this again, probably will come on to that.
Yes. 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 But I think thanks to this, your visualization, Blum,
Yes.
this has been the best reading of meditation that for me in the last 2-3 times that we have read
So,
discourses. So thank you so
Karthik,
much.
I will, yeah, I will log off, and I'm almost.
Yeah, I
I
know
should go
you
to
are
office.
getting late. We are also way out of time. Thank you so much, everybody. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai, and let's catch up
Yeah.
in the coming week. Yeah,
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.